Om Namo Brahmadibhyo Brahma Vidya Sampradaya Kartribhyo Vamsharishibhyo Mahadbhyo Namo Gurubhyaha Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutravashikritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murtibeda Vibhakine Vyomavat Vyapta Dehaya Dakshina Murtaye Namaha Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्ददातु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः प्रज्ञां शुप्रदानैः स्थिरचरनिकरैः व्यापिभिर्व्याप्य लोकान् भुक्त्वा भोगान् सविष्टान् पुनरतिदिशनोद्वासितान् कामजन्यान् पीत्वा सर्वान् विशेषान् स्वपिति मधुरभुङ् मायया भोजयन्नो मायासङ्ख्यातुरीयं परममृतमजम् ब्रह्म यत्तन्नतोऽस्मि यो विश्वात्मा विदिज विषयान् प्राश्यभोगान् स्तविष्टान् पश्चाश्चान्यान् स्वमिति विभवान् ज्योतिषा स्वेन सूक्ष्मान् सर्वानेतान् पुनरभिशनैः स्वात्मनि स्थापयित्वा हित्वा सर्वान् विशेषान् विगतगुणगणैः पात्वसौ न तुरीयः. The Mandukya Upanishad mantras are Omityetadaksharamidam sarvam tasyopavyakhyanam bhutam bhavishyaditi sarvam onkara eva yachanyat trikaladidam tadapi onkara eva sarvam hetad brahma ayamatma brahma soyamatma chatushpad जागरितस्थानो बहिःप्रज्ञः सप्ताङ्को एकनविंशतिमुखः स्थूलभुक् वैश्वानरः प्रथमपादः स्वप्नस्थानो अन्तःप्रज्ञः सुप्ताङ्क एकोनविंशतिमुखः विविक्तभुक् तैजसो द्वितीयपादः यत्र सुप्तो न कञ्चन कामं कामयते न कञ्चन स्वप्नं पश्यति तत् सुषुप्तम् सुषुप्तस्थान एकीभूतः प्रज्ञानगण एवमानन्दमयः आनन्दभुक् चेदोमुखः प्राज्ञस्तृतीयपादः एष सर्वेश्वर एष सर्वज्ञ एष अन्तर्यामी एष योनिः सर्वस्य प्रभवप्ययो हि भूतानां न अन्तःप्रज्ञं न बहिःप्रज्ञं नोपेदप्रज्ञं न प्रज्ञानगणं न प्रज्ञं नाप्रज्ञम् अदृश्यम् अव्यवहार्यम् अग्राह्यम् अलक्षणम् अचिन्त्यम् अव्यपदेशम् एकात्मप्रत्ययसारं प्रपञ्चोपशमं शान्तं शिवम् अद्वैतं चतुर्थं मन्यन्ते स आत्मा स विज्ञेयः सोऽयमात्मा आद्यक्षरमोङ्कार अधिमात्रं पादा मात्रा मात्राश्च पादा अकार उकार मकार इति जागरितस्थानो वैश्वानर अकार प्रथमा मात्राराप्तिमत्वाद् आप्नोति ह वै सर्वान् कामान् आदिश्च भवति य एवं वेद स्वप्नस्थानो तैजस उकारो द्वितीया मात्राद् उत्कर्षाद् उभयत्वाद्वा उत्कर्षति ह वै ज्ञानसन्ततिं समानश्च भवति न अस्य ब्रह्मवित्कुले भवति य एवं वेद सुषुप्तस्थानप्राज्ञो मकारस्तृतीया मात्रा मितेरपीतेर्वा मिनोति ह वा इदं सर्वम् अतीपिश्च भवति य एवं वेद अमात्रश्चतुर्थो अव्यवहार्य प्रपञ्चोपशमः शिवो अद्वैत ओङ्कारमेव आत्मैव संविशति आत्मना आत्मानम् एवं वेद ॐ तत्सत्. So, toward the last 20 Karikas, Gaudapada is concluding the complete teaching of the Mandukya. So, in last class we saw that the 81st Karika, Ajam Anidram Aswapnam Prabhadam Bhavati Swayam Nakrit Sakrit Vibado Hi vai esha dharmo dhatu swabhavatah. Tad ajam, that which is without any birth, ajam, anidram, without any agrahanam. Nidra, anidram means sleep. That nidram, without in the sleep we are not knowing anything. And this is anidram means it is all knowing. But there is nothing to be known other than itself. So anidram. Aswapnam, anyada grahanam. That is swapnam is we are seeing which are anyada grahanam. Here swapnam has to include so both swapna and jagrat. So where there is objects and experiences separate from the observer. When aswapnam happens, or where the both jagrat and swapna is to be understood as not jagrat and swapna, means where this no agrahanam is happening, swayam pravadam yesha dharmaha. This dharma, this atma is swayam pravadam or swaprakasha. It is the self-effulgence of nature of it when there is nothing other than itself. Neither the duality of the waking and dream, nor the agrahanam of the deep sleep where there is nothing else to be known. When all these three are not happening, the self is in full effulgence of knowing itself. Dhatu swabhavataha sakrit vivadaha. By the very nature of it, dhatu swabhavataha, deshasya swabhava, deshasya swabhava, dhatu swabhavata, meaning this swabhava of Atma is sakrit vibhadaha. Sakrit means always. It is not only self-effulgent, it is always. There is never a time when it is not effulgent. Which means even when we are in the state of waking and dream and deep sleep, it is that is which is effulgent in nature and self-effulgent. It is allowing itself to be known, or it is expressing itself, and in its expression by itself, everything appears to be knowing. So both self-effulgence and continued effulgence of that is what is being conveyed by that Karika. And Sukham avriyate nityam dukkam viviryate sada yasya kasya cha dharmasya grahane bhagavan asau. Yasya kasya cha dharmasya grahane. There is not, when there is no mithya grahana, when asya anyasya dharmasya, where there is nothing else is being perceived. Nityam sugam avriyate. This effulgence is the one which is engulfing the reality. But when duality is perceived, dukkham avriyate. When the perception, when this projection of Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupta comes, and when we associate with that, that is the time when we are into the sorrow and the duality is coming. When this is not happening, Bhagavan Asau, he is the Ishvara, or he is the Atma, he is the Brahma, he is the Turiya. Now, as a last parting argument towards the different philosophy, Gaudapada is again taking this opponents of the darshanas, four darshanas, in the 83rd Karika. Asti nasti nasti asti asnasti nasti va punaha chalastiro bhayabhavai avranadoti va balishaha. Balishaha asti na asti. Balishaha means the one who are all fickle-minded or who are not understood the reality. They are categorizing the reality into four. Asti, na asti, then asti nasti, puna nasti nasti. So these are the four ways in it, or four kotis in which they are categorized. So what it is says is that Gaudavata mentioned this as Asti is the Nyaya Vaisheshika system that says Atma is there, Asti, but it is other than mind body complex. They also agree that there is something called Atma, but it is a matter, it is a material, one of the dravyas. Pratibhyap Tejo Vayu Akasha Khala Digatma Mana. This is the Navadravyani. So in one of the Navadravyas, they included Atma as a matter. But the qualities are all pervading, Vibhu and Ananta, because as many the creations are there, so many Atmas are there as per them, and many. And it has got attributions like Raga Dvesha. This is as per the Vaisheshika Darshana. That is Asti. Nasti is the Yogachara Buddhism. This is very similar to Advaita but slightly different. This system says that there is Atma that is not different from the Antakarana Buddhi, but it is a continuous flow of thought, is what they call it as Atma, Kshanika Vijnanam. And it is a Kshanika Jnanam because it is happening in the same Antakarana as a Vijnanam. So there is no not different. Nasti means not different from the mind body intellects. Is Atma is the same. Then there is called Asti Nasti Jainism, which is known as Anekantavada, Saptavangavada, or Syad, Sadasadvada. This what they say is that they say that the system that cannot define that whether Atma is there or not. It is there in some angle, some way in which we look at, in some way when we look it is not there. So it depends upon which way you are trying to define it. Asti and Nasti, both are possible. And then there is the Mahayana Shunyavada Buddhism, which says Nasti Nasti, there is nothing. It is nihilism, what is there? Nothing exists. So Vedanta has no conflict with this because they are all fighting between themselves. And Vedanta is not a darshana as per Gaudavata. He said Jnana Marga, not a Jnana Darshanam. Vaishika Darshanam, the Buddha Bauddhiga Darshanam, and like that, it is not a Darshana. Here it is a Jnana Marga for a Moksha. So it is a teaching by itself. So that is how the definition of the four Asti, Nasti, Nasti, Asti, Asti, is that fourth thing. The same thing is being referred in the 84th thing. Koti Chatastra Etastu Grahyai Sada Avrataha. Bhagavan Abhirava Avruta Sprishto Ena Drishtasad Sarvadak. Yasam means these four kotis, the four, this thing, Asti, Nasti, Asti, Nasti, this four, this thing. Grahyai Sada, when and the clutches of the association with these darshanas, Abhinivesha darshanas, what they Gaudavata calls them as Abhinivesha darshana, because of the obsession to these philosophies, Avruta by the fourth Eta Chatustra Kotya, but these four darshanas, Asprishtaha, the same Atma which is Asprishta, which is cannot be touched, Bhagavan, Yena, by which person who can see beyond the four darshanas as Atma is Asprishta, Asangaha, which is untouched by any of these, definitions of the four schools. He knows Bhagavan, this Atma, as Bhagavan or the Ishwa or the Brahma or the Andaryami. Andaryami Sakrit Vivadaha, always shining and self-effulgent, Suprakashaha, Asprishtaha, which is not touched by anything. Yaha Ena Drishtaha Sa Sarvadik, the one who sees them without getting obsessed by the four schools as a separate Asprishtam and Asanga, he is a Sarvadrik, he is the one who knows the reality. Prapya Sarvakritam Krishnam Brahmanyam Padamadvayam Anapannadi madhyandam kimata paramihate. In the 85th Karika he says that Krishnam, complete, Purnatvam, Sarvatnyatam, all omniscient, Advayam, without a duality, Anapanna Madhyandam, that which has no beginning, middle, or end, that Adi Madhyandam Nasti. One who knows this as he attains the Brahmanyam Padam, that is that the one Brahmavid Brahmaiva Bhavati is the Upanishad, other Upanishad is saying that is what is referring here. Brahmanyam Padam Prapya. One having Brahma is Yatnyatva Sarvamidam Vitnyadam Bhavati. We studied that in the Mandukya Upanishad. So Brahmavid Brahmaiva Bhavati, when his thing, then the Gaudapada is asking, Ataparang kimi hede. What is there more to be achieved by that? You know, that means that is the ultimate of all pursuits, as to know this reality in the very essence of individual, every one of us. Viprana vinayo hesha shava prakrita uchyade dhamma prakriti dandatva devam vidwan brahm shamam vrajet. Now, all the qualities which are mentioned for the sadhakas, like, amanittam, adambittam, ahimsa, shantirajyavam, or shamadama, uparati, danda, all those things, this esha vipranam, for this vipranam means those who have understood that or who have become brahmanasya bhavaha, that brahmanya padam, one who has achieved that, for him, Prakrita Shama, these Shama, Damadi, and Amanitvam, Adambittam, Ahimsa, Shantirarjavam, all of them will become his Prakriti. That becomes his nature, because he doesn't see anything to be separate from him. So for him, there is no need of Shama, there is no need of Amanitvam, Adambitvam, Ahimsa. Ahimsa and Ahimsa will come only when there is duality. So for him there is no duality, so it becomes his prakriti that these qualities which were there advised and sadhana chatushtaya sampatti for the starting of the seeker, requirements are all becomes his natural prakriti, his swabhava. Prakriti dantva dhamma evam vidwan samam vrajet. All knowing this, that there is nothing other than the very reality which is my own reality and the reality of each and everything in the world outside, he becomes samam. He is swabhyavika brahma swarupa shanti, that is swabhava rupa brahma shanti, that he becomes the nature of Brahma itself and swarupa of the Brahma, and therefore he becomes shantam. Shantam Shivam Advaitam Chaturtam Manyande Sa Atma Savitneha. That Shantam Shivam Advaitam is what becomes his nature. Savastu Sopalambham Cha Dvayam Laukika Mishyate Avastu Salobhamdam Cham Shuddham Laukika Mishyate. Now here he is quoting the Buddhistic wordings, Laukikam and Lokottaram is in the next Karika he is saying. So he is saying Savastu Sopalambam. When Savastu means with Vastu, Sambriti is the reason when we have the feeling the separatedness is that, which is Sambriti means here that Abhuda Vinivesham or the delusion. Through the Bahendriya, this thing. So, Laukika Mishya, Dvayam Laukika Mishyate. So, we see the duality in our, in our transactional world, Laukika Mishyate. Avastu Sapolobdham Cha Shuddham Laukika Mishyate. When what happens? When Avastu, when there is no Bahendriya, when it is only internal in areas, there also Anupalambham, there is a perception or grasping of world which is Shuddha Laukikam. The world is Dvaya, in the waking it is called Dvayam Laukikam. In the Swapna it is called Shuddham Laukikam. Ikshate. That is what it is saying. That is when the duality comes, this is what happens, and what we see is world outside as gross world and world inside as Alaukikam. Then in the 88th Karika, Avastu Anubalambam cha Lokottaram iti smritam. Jnanam Jneyam cha Vitneyam sada buddhai prakirtitam. Now he is here bringing the Jagrat Swapna Sushupti of the first mantra, first 6 mantras to the 7th mantra and the last line of the Karika. So, Avastus Anupalabham cha Lokottaram iti smritam. Lokottaram means that is beyond the perceived world, which is the Sushupti. There what is saying Avastu, there is nothing which is to be for the Grahyam or Agrahanam. When Agrahanam is happening, we are going Lokottara, we are going beyond the world. That means beyond the worlds of waking and dream. And we are into the Lokottaram, which is in the deep sleep. But beyond that, beyond the Jnanam Jneyam, there in all these things we have the Jnanam and Jneyam. That is, the Jneyam means the object of perception. Jnanam is the knowledge of the perception or the object. Beyond that is Vitneyam cha. There this Atma as Vijnana Swabhava or the Vishesha Jnana Swabhava is present even during the waking, during the dream, during the deep sleep, even perceiving the knower and the known of the dream. So indirectly this is a verse which is reminding us about the Shvetashvatara Upanishad mantra. Trishudamasu yadbhogyam bhokta bhogasya yadbhavat tevyo vilakshana sakshi chinmatroham sadashivam. The Trishudamasu, in the 3 aspects of our experiences of waking, dream and deep sleep. Bhokta bhogasya bhogyamcha. There are 3 things, that the knower, the subject, object and the knowing. The perceiver, the perceived and the perception. That is the Trishudamasu Tridbhogyam. Tebhyo Vilakshana Sakshi. This Vijnanam, this knowledge, which is mentioned in the 7th mantra, Sa Atma Sa Vitneyaha. That Atma and Vitneyaha is become the one and the same. There is nothing to be known because Atma is the one which is knowing, and the Atma and the Vijnana becomes one and the same. The same thing is mentioned here in the Shvetashvatara Upanishad. Tebhyo Vilakshana Sakshi Chinmatroham Sadashivam. That Sakshi, the witness, which is untouched by the Asangaha, Asparsha, as a witness when it is there and he is observing the game going on, the waking, dream and deep sleep, he has nothing to gain by that, nothing to lose by that, and nalipyate bahya dukkaihi. In the Gita they say that. So bahya dukkam means what is being perceived of the dukkha of the body, mind and intellect in the waking, dream and deep sleep is untouching, or asparsha is not even containing or contaminating the witness, which is a pure jnana swarupaha. Chid matram. That is what the word used in Shvetashvatara Upanishad. Chid matram means pure awareness. Sadasivam, always pure and uncontained by. So how can it be uncontained by anything? When it is all by itself. Itaram antaram kurde tatsasya bhayam bhavati. If there is even an iota, something is different from it, then it is not shuddham. So that Atma, the witness, the Vitneyaha, which is mentioned in the 7th chapter toward the end, Shandam Shivam Advaitam Chaturtam Manyende Sa Atma Sa Vitneyaha. That Vitnyanam is the one which is knowing the Dvaya Laukikam, then the Shuddha Laukikam of the dream, and Lokottaram of the deep sleep. This is the words used and borrowed from the Buddhism. So these three worlds of experiences as Jnanam and Jneyam, both the no perceiver and the perceived. Beyond that is Vijnayanam cha, is the way in which one who Sada Budai Pragirtidam. Those who have seen that, those who have realized that, those who have intuitively become one with it. Sada, always Budai Pragirtidam. They always give this as the one to be attained or looked for, which is even though present all the time, even during for each one of us during our waking, dream and deep sleep, it is in its presence. Tasya bhasa sarvamidam vibhati. In its presence only everything is becoming known to us. The knowledge is not of the brain or the mind or the intellect. It is a consciousness in which everything becomes. Even the knowledge of the thoughts and emotions and the feelings which happens in our body, in our thought flows, in our intellectual inquiries, in our logical analysis, even our selfishness, even our memories, everything which is in the internal is shining because of the consciousness. That is the one which is Sakrit Vivadam and Swaprakasha. That is what is being this Brahmavit. Budaihi here means Brahmavit. Those who have understood that Brahmanya Padam Prapya, one who have achieved that unison with the Brahma reality in their own bosoms, they claim, they say that this is the one which is to be known to be. Jnane cha trividehe neyap kramena vidide swayam sarvajna hi sarvatra bhavatiha mahadiya. Now this is the culmination of that. Jnana, jnanam in that laukikadi vishayat jnanam, that the experiences which is there. Trividat neyascha, in there are the three types of knowledge, which is again the same, referring to the same mantra of the Shweta Chaturmanas. Jnanam, Teyam, Vijnanam, Bhogyam, Bhogascha, Bhogyascha, Bhogamscha. So that Trividat Neha, Kramena Vidite, when you know them as separate, because now we are identifying that I am the waker, I am the dreamer, I am the deep sleeper. But when you know them as perceiver, known, perceived, and the perception, as a witness, when you know that Mahidiya, with that extreme intellect. Here the intellect is not referring to the mind-body intellect, that Mahadiya, that ultimate consciousness or the Sakshi Vijnanam. Iha sarvatra, in this aspect of observing as a witness, sarvatra swayam eva sarvajna bhavati. That is the time he is able to understand and become that it is his own projections, and other than him there is nothing else. Even the entire waker and the waking experience, the dreamer and the entire dreaming experience, the deep sleeper and the experience of the deep sleeper, and the witness which was knowing this thing, is all that is the time when it becomes sarvajna, because even he knows the witness. The witness also becomes part of that, the witnessing or the witness nomenclature or the definition remains only when it is knowing these things are happening. And this sarvajna happens when he knows that even the witness is my own glory. It is that glory of the consciousness, even the witness becomes the glory of the witness. There is nothing to be witnessed. There is no witness, there is no Jagrat, there is no Jagrat world, there is no Swapna, there is no Swapna world, no deep sleep experiences apart from my own awareness. In my awareness, everything is established, everything is existing. in my reality, in my essence, is the whole essence of experiences are embedded in, and I cannot stand without my present being there. That Sakrit Vivadam, that light which is always there in all there is never a moment that is not there. In that, he becomes a Sarvatnya Bhavati. He becomes a Sarvatnya. In the 90th Karika, he says, हेयज्ञेयोऽप्यकाप्याख्यानि विज्ञेयान्यग्रहणातः तेषामन्यत्र विज्ञानो दुपलम्बस्तिस्तुष्टु स्मृतः. That is, it is 90th verse. We have to break it correctly, otherwise the meaning will not be clear. So what is it? Heyat neya apya pakyani agrahayanataha vitneyani tesham vitneyat anyatra trishu upalambaha smritaha. So what happens is that Heyat neya pakyani. There are 4 types of things which is the heyangal. Heya means what is to be rejected or discarded. Neya, what is to be known. Apya means what is to be grasped. Pakya means what need to be modified. All the 4. Agrayanataha, in advance, Vitnayoni should be understood as dosham. Tesham, in the 4 categories of that, one should understand that in advance itself. Tesham Vijnana tatra anyatra. Other than the Vijnana, anyatra trishu upalamba smritaha. There is nothing which is in the 4 category outside the Vijnana. So here it is mainly to tell the people who are depending upon the Mimamsakas, who are saying that these are the 4 things. Heyat, Neya, Apya, Pakya is the dictums or the instructions from the Vedas. That should be understood in the light of Vijnana, which has been mentioned in the previous Karika. In the 3 Trishu Upalamba Smritaha. In the Trishu, which is that Jagrat Swapna Sushupti, in the Trishu, Upalabham is being perceived as the 4 category due to avidya. This abhuda avinivesham or samvriti, that should be understood. Then he says that Prakritya Akashavat Neyaha Sarve Dharma Anadeyaha Vidyade Nahi Nanatvam Tesham Kvachana Kimchana. Sarve Dharma, all the creations or Adha Atmas, which is supposed to be as in the form of Jivatmas, Dharmas. Prakritya Akashavat, they are by essence like the space. Anadayaha means there is no beginning. They have never been created. So we have seen that Ajam, there is no creation at all. So the Jivatmas who think that they have birth, there is a beginning for it, that aspect is what is being referred here. They are all like Akasha Tulya. It is like the Sarvavit Vibhu. Everywhere Akasha is there. There is no place where the Gadakasha, Matakasha, the space in a pot or space in a house or space in a hospital, not these type of creations which are never happened in the case of Akasha. And it is only due to the name and form, Nama Rupa, and the transactional aspect, which we call them as created this thing. Same way, the body is there, always there, in the sense of in the form of whatever it was there as before. It is when it comes together, we call it as a body. When they disintegrate and go back to the source, we call it the body is no more. So the body is not something which is getting created. And when it is coming together and it is occupying this awareness in it, we call it as a jivatma. But it is in really, there is no birth for a jivatma which is taking. Jnaya tesham kvachana kimchana. There is no way they have a separate and reality and entity. Jnaya, this has to be understood. For them, tesham kvachana kimchana, at any time or in any of the experiences, bed nanatum na vidyate. There is no separation or no differences. Even what you experience in your waking, as the objects, as the subject, as the knowledge, all the three are nothing but the same awareness or the same Vijnana, same Atma, same consciousness, same Turiya, same Brahma. Therefore, never have they come anywhere which is not, they are not there, nor they are going to be born again, or they are going to die. It is all appearances of, like Akasha, the space becoming a pot space or a house space, etc. In reality, there is nothing which is coming and going anywhere. Adi Buddha Prakrityaiva Sarve Dharmasu Sunishchida. Yasyaivam bhavati sakshanti, so amrudatvaya kalpate. Sarve dharmaha, all the jivatmaha, sunishchitaha, they are nitya nischita swarupas. They are eternally in the same form, even when they are assuming that they are the jivatma. Prakritya eva adibuddha. By very intrinsic nature, they are bodha swarupa. They are all consciousness in reality. Yasya evam kshanti. One who is trying for mumukshutva, mokshatva. Yasya here it is standing for mumukshu. Evam kshanti. This type of bodha and nischaya, when he comes, that I don't have to try for mumukshutva, because my swarupa is bodha swarupa. So what am I trying to achieve by my activity? That is to referring to that four apya, jneya, heya, jneya, apya and pakya. So that type of things, and which is the mumukshuttam, parama purushartham, what they call it as purushartham, artha, dharma, artha, kama, moksha. So all those things are really my misunderstanding that I need to be working for that, because my swarupa is nitya shuddha buddha mukta swabhava. That is my reality, real nature. Therefore, there is no need for me. Sa amritatvaya kalpade. He is the one who is fit for this sarvajna bhava, brahmanyam padam. Because even if you think that you have to attain moksha, that is an impediment as per Gaudavada. Because your very nature here is, you are a mukta. You are a jnana swarupa. And jnanam and mukti are not different. Mukti is mean what? Avidya nasham. Avidya nasham is coming from jnana. But when your swarupa is jnana, in who can there be avidya there? Avidya is not a reality, it is an appearance. And an appearance, when it is understood as not a reality, there is no need for any working towards removing that appearances. And that is the one, therefore there is no bandhur na gurur naiva shishya na bandha na moksha. All those things becomes only abhuda vinivesha, by the obsession thinking that you are a physical body. One who abandons these type of notions and who understands that his swarupa is nitya shuddha buddha mukta swabhava, saha amritatvaya kalpade. He is the one who is eligible for amritatvam, or the immortality. Adishanda hyanulpanna prakrityaiva sunirvrita sarve dharma swamabhinna ajam samyam visharadam. Again, Sarve dharma, again all these jivatma, prakritya eva adishanta. By default, by intrinsic nature, adishantaha, they are they are nitya shuddha buddha mukta swabhavaha. Sunirvrataha, they are free, nirvrata means released from. Sushtu nirvrata is sunirvrata. They have been, there is no bondage before to become free. You are, therefore, you are sunirvrata. Samabhinna, there is no difference in the, categories. There is ekatvam anupashyata. There is a unison, that the consciousness has no gradation, no ups and lows, and no, higher and lower. Therefore, samabhinna, abhinna, sama, abhinna. There is no difference between them. They are sama always. Visharadam ajam samyam. Shuddha Atma Tattva. Visharada means Shuddha Atma Tattva. Ajam, without any chance of giving a creation or becoming, as a object of creation, like a Jivatma. And he reaches the Samya Swarupam. Samya means that equanimous within himself. Vaisaradyam natu vainasti bede vicharatam sada. Veda nimatna pradakta taste kripana smritaha. Pradagvata. Those who think that there are was material things are which are the pratak means separation, multitude is there. Basically saying that those who believe in duality. Vede nimnaha, who are all following that there is a duality, and therefore all the activities are required. I need to do all those actions for my own, moksha, emancipation. Sadas Bede Vicharatam. They are always only, their mind is only working on that duality. And the duality is a reality for them. Therefore they are engaging in the duality all the time. Vaisaradyam na asti vai. Therefore, Vaisaradyam means Shuddha Atma Swarupa, they don't see. Na asti vai. For them it is not there at all. Tasma te kripanasmita. Because of that, they are all called, the unfortunate ones. Kripana means here the meaning is unfortunate. They are unfortunate. They are the reality. They are the truth. They are the Sarvajna. They are the Brahma Swarupa, the consciousness Atma Swarupa. But they think that, the duality is reality. Then I need to work towards the moksha and all sorts of kama, Purusha Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, Purushartha, then sadhana, sadhushtaya, chambakti, and moksha, mumukshutvam. All those duality based activities are coming from abhuda binivesha, from the obsession of the duality. And the one who is free from this obsession, for him there is nothing more to be done, because his swarupa is nitya shuddha buddha mukta swabhava. But those who do not work for the take kripanasmrita, they will be always known by the world as unfortunate one, because they do not see the reality. Aje samyetu ye ketchit bhavishyanti sunishchita tehi loke mahanascha loko na gahate. Kintu, because ye kechit aje samye, in this samya, that is samya swarupa paramartha, which is in the form of ajaha, who is sunishtira, who has established in it. Sunishtira means sushtu nishchayam. He is convinced, his conviction is so that he realizes, not only realizes, he is understood that his nature is that samya ajaha, that tranquil aja, uncreated atma swarupaha. Tehi loke mahatmya. They are indeed the mahatmyanis of the world, or the jnanis. And tat lokaha na kehatecha. And they do not Gahate means they are not making the world as an object to know with any intention to know anything also, because the Mahatmya, because they have understood what is the reality of everything. So they do not even that, there are people who can think that, I need to get Atmajnana, I need to work for moksha, I need to get Brahmajnana. For them, Brahmajnana, Atmajnana is all Vishayas, na Gehatecha. They think that they are all Vishayas, like achieving something in our day-to-day life. They also think Atmajnana is something which they need to be attained and achieved, not realizing that is their Swarupa. Therefore, they are not the one which is, if you do not know, then you will be known as a Kripna. In the 96 Karika, he is continuing that. Ajashwem ajam sankrantam dharmeshu jnanam ishyate. Yato na kramate jnanam asangam tena kirtadam. Ajeshu dharmeshu ajam. Ajam, ajeshu, among the, in the unborn, dharmeshu, in the, those who are as the dharmas or the atmas, ajam asankrantam, they are confirmed in that jnanam, in the knowledge, which is this jnajam is asankrantam. It is no way it can be multiplied or into percolated as, separate. You are everything, then you don't have to become everything. Therefore, there to becoming everything is, sarvam khalu idam brahma. People say that, once you know that, you become everything. There is nothing called becoming everything. You are that even this very moment. That knowledge is in which everything is existing. That substratum in which every picture is being seen doesn't have to become something from the picture separately. The object, the awareness is the one in which everything exists. It is because of the awareness that there is a feeling that objects exist. That awareness is the nature with which the one who is aware of these objects also. So there is no way you can separate, or sankranta means to, the awareness to go from one in the jivatma, that awareness should go to the object. That type of an activity also doesn't happen because there is no duality. So how can there be a knowledge going across to the object and, perceiving it? No, the perceiving is happening within the knowledge. The perceiving is not happening outside. The knowledge is within itself. So jnanam ishyate, jnanam yata na kramade tena. That ajam jnanam, the one which is that unborn knowledge, because it is not na kramate tena asangam kirtidam. Therefore, there is nothing else left with which it can get attached to. Therefore, it is called asanga. Because there is nothing other than itself, therefore it is asanga. Not because it is not attached with something. There is something else outside and it is not attached with that, withdrawing from something. Where is to withdraw from what? When everything is one, sarvam is only one thing, from where can you withdraw from there? Where can you go from? Where can you be detached from? Anumatre api vaidharmya जायमाने अविपच्यितः असंगता सदा नास्ति किमुत आवरणच्युति. Anumatre api vaidharmya. Even an iota of separation. Vaidharmya means viparita dharma. Anumatra means even an iota. Jayamane, if you think that it is there. Jayamane means even if you assuming that there is an iota of separation, avipischataha, for the one who is deluded by there is a separation, asangata sada nasti, he will never see that asangatvam, that oneness, ekibhutaha, that prajnana ghanaha, vijnanam, that prapanchopashamam, ekatmasya pratyasaram. So he doesn't see that asangata. Avaranachyuti kimuta. Then for such a person, how can there ever happen a, the Chuti means, decrease or dissolving. Avarana means the ignorance. For such a person who thinks there is an iota of separation from himself, anything other than that, he can never be out of ignorance, because he considers the very idea that you are considering there is something outside you is the ignorance. And if you still consider that, how can you be away out of ignorance? For such a person, the avarana chuti na bhavati. It will never happen. Alabdhavarana sarve dharma prakriti nirmala ado buddha stvata mukta Pudyanta iti nayaka. Sarve dharma alabdhavarana. Every one of us, avidyadi bandhana rahita. Alabdhavarana means avidyadi bandhana rahita. There is no ignorance also. Swaprakashe kuto avidya is what the word used by Sureshwaracharya in the Brihadaranya Upanishad, Vartika. Our nature is swaprakasha, self-effulgent. In self-effulgence, how can there be avidya? When our very nature is knowledge or all-knowing, that consciousness, awareness, in that how can there be a avarana or a, swaprakashe kuto avidya? Prakriti nirmala adau buddha. By swabhava, prakriti nirmala, we are all from the beginning itself. There is no way we are born. Our very nature, even before birth, during birth, even when we are now, even after death, there is no birth and death, first of all. Even if that is in our very nature is nirmala, that pure awareness. Tada mukti buddhyate iti nayakaha. Tada, that same way, mukta means we are free. We don't have anything to be attached to. Therefore, where can it be? It can be contaminated, nirmala and anirmala, and then attachment also is not there. Avarana is not there. No vikshepa is there. No way there is any way we can be contaminated by anything. Buddhyate iti nayaka. One who knows this, he is the one who leads the nayaka, one who leads the for explaining this, and they are the one who can guide us as leading for that knowledge to that. Kramate nahi buddhyasya jnanam dharmeshu tayinah. Sarve dharmas tvata jnanam nayetet buddhena vashitam. This is a controversial Karika, but the meaning is like this. Tayinaha means spreading, like akashavat. What it is sarvagadaha, because sarvagata means there is no, actually speaking, there is no sarva, but for the poetic way of using it is everywhere. Buddhyasya dharmeshu jnanam. This knowledge, for the one who has understood this, his knowledge is spreading everywhere. Nahi kramade sarvadharma. There is no way he sees the separatedness and the multiplicity jivas and separately. That is why it is said that jnani sees everything as his own nature. Therefore, there is no separatedness from him. Tada etat jnanam na buddhena bhashitam. So Gaudapada says, this way about the jnanam, the knowledge is this nature, na buddhena bhashitam. The Buddha has never mentioned, or the Buddha here means those who are talking about the Buddhistic philosophy, mainly the Yogachara Vijnanavadin. They have not told this is the way, because for them the jnana is shanika in nature. As the objects are there, so many consciousness or so many awarenesses are there. But here what we are talking about is that undivided total awareness in which everything is included, there is nothing excluded or nothing outside it. This is the where, though there is no point in no way it can be Kshanikavas, coming and going, knowledge which is coming and going. Therefore, this has not been taught by the Buddhas. Durdarshamiti Gambiram Ajam Samyam Visharadam Buddhva Padamanatam Namaskurmo Yadhavalam. In the final Karika, he is prostrating to that knowledge, Namaskurma Yadhavalam, to the best possible thing, because there is no duality. So there is no way in which we are doing a namaskara, yet as if that knowledge is the embodiment and I am prostrating towards that. Durdasham, because it cannot be seen, it cannot be, it cannot be projected or seen separate. Adhigambiram, it is the most marvelous thing. Ajam, which is having no birth. Samyam, the tranquil nature. Visharadam means Shuddham, Vishuddham, absolutely pure, uncontaminated, Pratnyanaghana, Ekatma Pratyasaram. Ananatvam, there is no multiplicity in it. Padam Buddhva, that knowledge, when that is my reality, when I understood, I am merging with it. That is itself is my prostration unto thee knowledge, my own nature. I am prostrating to myself, or there is no I, there is a we, or there is no we, there is no I. The prostration is happening within the prostration, or the knowledge itself becoming knowledge. So it is a form of a merging one with that. When Namaskurmaha is in a poetic way, he is saying, I have become one with you. This is the knowledge which is being given by the Karikas in Gaudapada, concludes the whole thing with this. There are 3 Mangala Shlokas written by Shankaracharya for this, toward the end of it. Ajamapi jani yogam prapadvai sharya yogad gadihi cha gadimatam prapadehat anekam विविध विषय धर्माग्राह्य मुद्धे क्षणानाम प्रणत भयविधम त्रिभ्रम यत तन्नतोस्मि. He is saying that I am prostrating to that Brahma, which is in reality there is no Janma and Vikaras. Due to its power, Anirvatya Jnana Vaibhavam. This is that indefinable aspect of the knowledge. Akashadi Karya Swarupa is used. He using examples of Akashadi. Becoming as if the individual Janma Bandha Jagat Nidana Vyapadeshat Kudastam Vibhum Gati Nischalaha Tad Avastha. That means using that Akasha example, becoming the pods or the Akasha, the thing, and house space, other multiple spaces, in reality without there is a multiplicity, and at the same time it is apparently being there inside the pot as a space, but at the same time it is Vibhu also, it is there everywhere also. That avastha, who has reached that, in whose grace I have reached that by various words of the Upanishad and the Karikas, to that Brahma is my prostrations. This is how Gangaracharya creates the first Karika. I mean, first Mangala Shloka toward the end. Then he does two more things, which is more or less in as per the traditional thing, which I don't think we need to go into the details of it because it's more or less a repetition of the first two Shanti mantras which we studied. No, Pratnam Shupradane Sthirayara Nikarai Vapipir Vyapya Lokan. It is the same meaning but with the different wordings. That's all. So with that, we have completed the Mandukya Upanishad and the 4 chapters of the Karika, Gaudapada Karika. And with my best of knowledge and capability, have I explained to you. But what is to be understood and the journey is for all of us to take within ourselves. There is nowhere else to go. The truth is embedded in all of each one and every one of us because our Swarupa is Nitya Shuddha Buddha Mukta Swabhava. That is our Swabhava. And in that Swabhava, when we is that what we are seeing the world, we are getting deluded as the world is separate from us. Ones who know that you are the consciousness, and it is that consciousness with which everything is happening and everything is being experienced. The objects and the experience and everything are not separate from that. One who has understood and convinced by this knowledge, for him there is no further to go. Yatnatva sarvamidam vijnatam bhavati. He has achieved that. Brahmavid Brahmaiva bhavati. If he has not understood, such a person is called Kripana. He is an unfortunate one who has not been able to understand and get convinced by this knowledge. With that, I stop today's session and the Mandukya Karika, Mandukya Upanishad series. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Thank you. Dhanyavada.